basic time management rule is the 80-20 rule, which says that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your actions, your work. So therefore, what we help people do right from the beginning is to say, what are the 20% of your activities that contribute 80% of the value of all your work? Let me give you an example. A businessman will say that 80% of my sales are coming from 20% of my customers. However, it also means that 80% of my expenses are coming from the 20% of my customers, or the 80% of my customers represent only 20% of my business. So what they do is they fire all the customers. Keep the top 20%, the ones where they make the most money, the ones who are the happiest, the ones who complain the least, the ones who pay their bills the most rapidly. And then they say, how can we get more customers like these ones in the top 20%? And suddenly their business doubles and triples, their profits go up, their costs go down, the amount of money and time spent servicing customers diminishes, everything changes, and changes sometimes in a matter of 30 days.
Wow, that's amazing. And satisfaction goes.
Yes, of course. One of the things I tell people is only sell to people that you like and enjoy.
Right.
And get rid of anybody else that you don't like and enjoy. Encourage them to go and ruin your competitors' businesses, and ruin your competitors' peace of mind. And people say, well, how can you do that? Well, when you start off in business, you're desperate, so you sell to anybody who will buy. But as you get further along, you realize, hey, wait a minute, a lot of the customers that I'm servicing today are not really great customers. If I had a choice, I wouldn't have them. Good, you have a choice. Right. Help them go somewhere else.
Right.
And use that same energy and concentrate on those customers that are worth 5 and 10 times as much to you as the ones that complain and don't pay their bills.
Okay. That's great. Well, I'm going to represent now the person out there who's listening to this and saying, well, Brian, I'd love to do what I want to do, but I got a boss over me who's kind of monitoring my decision-making process, and I want to implement your ideas. I work within this large company. What are some baby steps or ways they can customize what you're talking about to get started within a company?
Well, I have an advanced coaching program for successful entrepreneurs and business people. I'll give you 2 examples. One gentleman came to my course, spent 1 day with me, went back to his boss and said, I want to double my income. How can we restructure the job so you can pay me twice as much? And you know what the boss said? Well, if that's what you want to do, you'd have to focus in this area exclusively and get these results. He said, okay, I will. He said, you get those results, I'll pay you twice as much. What about the other things? Well, we'll delegate them, outsource, eliminate them, have someone else do them, because this is where you're really good. So just do this all day long. He couldn't believe it. He said he'd been working now. He's about 38, 39 years old. He doubled his income in 1 meeting. And his boss was more than willing to pay him twice as much if he would produce in a particular area where he was really good. Last month, a woman came through the course. She went to her boss and she said, what do I have to do to double my income? He said, well, we'd have to restructure the work so that you did more and more of this and none of these other things. She said, well, if I do more and more of this and get these results, can you pay me twice as much? He said, you do it, I'll pay you twice as much. She couldn't believe it. She got double her income in 1 meeting. Because bosses, remember today, if they're worth anything, pay on the basis of results, not hours. So if you can offer to contribute twice the results by working on the things that you do really well and getting rid of everything else, most bosses will pay you. I mean, what the heck?
Right. That's a great point. I think a lot of people are going to be running to their boss right now to have a conversation. What are some ways of maybe helping people to get a better sense of what their unique genius is? Because that's obviously the key, is being able to determine what that area of genius is and being able to delegate the extraneous. Do you have specific questions that people should ask themselves to try to pull them out of themselves?
Well,